Finding roots by factoring. To find the roots, which is also called the zeros of an equation, one side must be 0 and we must determine the possible values for our variables that make the statement true. For example, find the roots of the following. So A, 4x equals 0. So 4 can't be 0, but x can be 0. So the root is x equals 0. B, 2x minus 4 equals 0. 2 times x minus 2 equals 0. The 2 can't be 0, but the x minus 2 can be 0 if x equals 2. Question C, x squared minus 7x plus 12 equals 0. Is x minus 4 times x minus 3 equals 0. And the equation can be 0 if x equals 4 and if x equals 3, so the roots are x equals 4 and 3. Question D, 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 equals 0. X plus 3 can be 0 if x equals negative 3, so that's one of the roots. And 2x plus 1 can be 0 if x equals negative 1/2. And the roots are x equals negative 1/2 and negative 3. In general, if your factor is of the form x minus b is 0 is x equals b. If your factor is of the form ax plus b, then your 0 is x equals negative b divided by a. Simplifying rational expressions. Definition: any algebraic expression that can be written as the quotient of two polynomials is called a rational expression. Example A, x minus 1 divided by 2x plus 3, or B, 2x squared minus 9xy plus 7y squared divided by 5xy, or C, 17x squared minus 6. It may be easiest to think of these rational expressions as fractions, and just like fractions, they always need to be reduced to their lowest form terms. Example: simplify a equals 64 divided by 24, which is equal to 8 times 8 divided by 8 times 3. So the 8 on top and bottom cancel and you get 8 over 3. B, 15x squared y divided by 6xy squared equals to 5 over 2 and x over y. So y can't be 0 and x can't be 0. And the way you do it is you can do exponent rule. So 15 is just 5 times 3 and 6 is just 2 times 3. And then x squared minus x1, so it is 2 minus 1, so you get an x on top, and then you get y minus 2. Y minus 2, so you get a minus 1, so that's the y at the bottom. Or you can do it by factoring, so you get 5 times 3 times x times y, and divide by the bottom, which is 2 times 3 times x times y, and you just cross out the thing that is on top and at the bottom. Restrictions are needed to prevent having a divide by 0. We want to identify values that will lead to zeros in the denominator and not let those values occur. Question C, x squared minus 9x plus 20 divided by 2x minus 10 is equal to x minus 5 times x minus 4 divided by 2 times x minus 5. And so the x minus 5 cancels, so you get x minus 4 divided by 2, and x cannot be 5 because you canceled it. And then example D, x squared minus 5x plus 4 divided by 3x minus 12 is equal to x minus 4 times x minus 1 divided by 3 times x minus 4. The x minus 4 cancel, so you get x minus 1 divided by 3, and x cannot be 4 because that would mean there is a 0 at the bottom denominator. Question E, x plus 5 divided by x squared minus 25 So that is just 1 times x plus 5 divided by x minus 5 times x plus 5, which is equal to 1 over x minus 5. And x cannot be 5 and x cannot be negative 5. Rational variable expressions. So here we have simplify, reduce the lowest terms, and state restrictions. So question A says negative 21y divided by 35x. So there's a 7 times 3 on top and a 7 times 5 on the bottom. So the 7 cancels and you get negative 3y over 5x. And x cannot be 0. And then B, 24m cubed n divided by 56mn squared. So m and n cannot be 0 because that is the variable at the bottom. And then we have 3 times 8 is 24 and 7 times 8 is 56. So the 8 cancels and you get 3 over 7. And then the m cube on top and an m at the bottom, so you become an m squared. N squared at the bottom and an n on top, so there's one n left at the bottom. And you get an answer. Question C, 3x squared plus 4x divided by 7x. So that is equal to 3x squared over 7x plus 4x divided by 7x. So you can get rid of the x on the first term and the x on the second term. And then you can put it back as one fraction. You get 3x plus 4 over 7. Another way to do it is you just factor in x from the top, and then the x will cancel, and then x cannot be 0. Okay. Question D says m minus 3 divided by 3 minus m. So you can factor out a negative 1 from the bottom, and then it just becomes negative 1 and m can't be 3 because the m minus 3 cancels. X squared minus 3x minus 18 divided by x squared plus x minus 6. That is equal to the x minus 6 times x plus 3 on the top divided by x plus 3 and times x minus 2 at the bottom. The x plus 3 cancels, so you get x minus 6 over x minus 2. And you look at the variable at the bottom, x plus 3 and x minus 2, the roots are 2 and negative 3, so x cannot be 2 and negative 3. Okay, now we're going to move on to simplify and state restriction, use good form. Question 1, 36x divided by negative 4y. So we factor out a 4 from top and bottom, cancel the 4, and then we get 9x and a negative y at the bottom. So the answer is negative 9x divided by y. Y cannot be 0. Okay. Question 2, 5x squared divided by x. The x cancels, so you get 5x, x cannot be 0. Question 3, 6m plus 4 divided by 2. Factor out a 2 on the top, and then you get 3m plus 2. Question 4, 12x squared minus 8x divided by 4x. We factor out a 4x from the top. A 4x cancels, so we get 3x minus 2, and x cannot be 0. Question 5, we factor out a 3 from top and bottom. Cancel the 3, we get m divided by m minus 2, m equals to, cannot be equal to 0. 2. 6, 10 m squared n squared divided by 15 m squared n minus 25 mn. Factor out a 5 mn on the top and 5 mn from the bottom. Okay. And once you do that, the 5 mn cancels, and you get 2 mn, 3m minus 5. M cannot be 5 over 3. Right, because that was one of the factors, and it cannot be 0. And also n cannot be 0 as well. Okay, question 7. 7 is right here. 4x plus 8 divided by 2x plus 4. Factor out of 4 from the top. Factor out of 2 from the bottom. The x plus 2 cancels. So we get answer is 2x cannot be negative 2. Question 8. 2x minus 10 divided by 3x minus 15. Factor out of 2 from the top and factor out of 3 from the bottom. So we get 2/3. X cannot be equal to 5. Question 9. 3x squared minus 6x divided by 14 minus 7x. So we factor out of 3x from the top, factor out of negative 7 from the bottom. So we get the x minus 2 of top and bottom cancel. So we get 3x over negative 7. And x cannot be 2. Okay, question 10. X squared minus 16 divided by x squared plus 4x minus 32. That's just x minus 4 times x plus 4 at the top, and x minus 4 times x plus 8 at the bottom. So the x minus 4 cancels, and you get x plus 4 divided by x plus 8. X cannot be negative 8 and 4. Question 11. X squared minus 3x minus 28 over x squared minus 9x plus 14. You get x minus 7 on the top. That is cancelled with x minus 7 on the bottom. So you're left with x plus 4 over x minus 2, and x cannot be 2 and 7. Question 12. X minus y over y minus x. That is equal to negative 1, and x cannot be y. Okay. Some more questions. 1a, 3t cubed plus 6t squared minus 15t divided by 3t. We factor out the 3t from the top, so we get t squared plus 2t minus 5, and t cannot be equal to 0. Question 1b, 6a squared plus 9a divided by 12a squared. So we write 6 as 3 times 2, we write 9 as 3 times 3, 12 as 3 times 4. Then we see we can factor out a 3 from all the terms. So what's left is 2a, and we can also factor out an a. So what's left is 2a plus 3 over 4a. A cannot be 0. One C, 10y to the 4 plus 5y cubed minus 15y squared divided by 5y. So again, we write each number as its factors. So we get 5 times 2 for 10, 5 times 1 for 5, 5 times 3 for 15, and 5 times 1 for 5. Then we cancel all the 5, we cancel all the y's. That can be factored out, and then we get 2y cubed plus y squared plus 3y. And we factor out a y, so we get 2y squared plus y minus 3, and y cannot be 0. 1D 14n to the 4 minus 4n to the 3 plus 6n to the 2 plus 8n divided by 2n squared. So we factor the 2n from the top and the 2n from the bottom. And then we say n cannot be 0. Okay, 1e 4m squared minus 8mn divided by 4mn. So we can cancel 1m from all the terms. We can cancel a 4 from all the terms. So we get n minus 2n divided by n cannot be 0, n cannot be 0. 1f negative 6x squared y cubed divided by negative 18x cubed y. So we do 6 divided by 6, you get 6 times 1. 18 divided by 6, we get 3, so there's a 3 at the bottom. The 6 cancels. There's a x times x times x at the bottom, and there's a x times x on top, so there's an x on the bottom. There's y times y times y on the top and a y at the bottom, so there's 2 y's left on the top when the y cancels. So now we have x comma y cannot be 0. 1g 16a squared bc divided by 4a squared b squared c squared. 16 divided by 4 is 4, so we have a 4. The a squared cancel. 1b left, 1c left on the bottom. ABC cannot be 0. 1h negative 4x4y squared z divided by 20x cubed y cubed z. So we divide 4 by 4, so you get 4 times 1 at the top. 20 divided by 4 is a 5. The 4 cancels, we have a 5 at the bottom. We still have the negative from the top. We have 1x at the top, 1y at the bottom, the z cancel. X, y, z cannot be equal to 0. 21m times n minus 4 divided by 7m squared. 21 divided by 7 is 3, so we have a 3 on top. 1m cancels, and the other m cancel so top and bottom 1m cancels. So we have 1m at the bottom, and we still have m minus 4 on top. M cannot be 0. 2a 5x divided by 5, x plus 4. The 5 cancels, so we have x over x plus 4. X cannot be negative 4. 2b 8t squared times t plus 5 divided by 4t times t minus 5. There's a 2t in the top, and the 2 plus 5 t minus 5 is still there. So t cannot be equal to 5 or 0. Okay, 2c 7x times x minus 3 divided by 14x squared times x minus 3. So the x minus 3, they cancel. And then you have 2x at the bottom. So it's 1 over 2x, and x cannot be 0 or 3. 2d n minus 1 times n plus 2 divided by n plus 4 times n minus 1. The n minus 1 cancels, so you get n plus 2, n plus 4 in the bottom. M cannot be 1 and negative 4. 2d 2x divided 2x plus 8. The 2, we can factor out the 2 from the bottom, so we get x over x plus 4. X cannot be negative 4. 2f y squared divided by y squared plus 2y. So we can factor out a y from the bottom, and then we cancel a y top and bottom. So we get y over y plus 2. Y cannot be negative 2 and 0. 2g 10x divided by 5x squared minus 15x is equal to 2 over x minus 3. So what you do is you factor out 5x from every term. X cannot be 0 and 3. 2x, 4x divided by 16x cubed minus 12x equal to 4x over 4x times 4x squared minus 3. So we factor out 4x from everything. And what's left is 1 over 4x squared minus 3. And you can actually see that that's just 2x times 2x for the first one and square root of 3 for the second term. So it's going to be a difference of square, right? So you get x x minus square root of 3 and x plus square root of 3 as the factor, which is why x cannot be plus or minus square root of 3 over 4.